But anyways, we gotta talk about an ALC team, right? Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out to my bro Vaughn. They got two quarterbacks on their roster who were starters last year: Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. But Russell Wilson was named the starter going into the training camp, but he's dealing with a calf injury right now. And Mike Tomlin decided to let that man sit out the first practice, which is crazy. And Justin Fields had the number one reps. Yeah, today too, right? So let's hear what Mike Tomlin got to say about making that decision.
Starts aren't always ideal, but that's like life, man. Russ woke up today, man. His calf was tight. It was my decision to sit him down today, create a little short-term discomfort for him, not allowing a small problem to become a bigger problem. He can be characterized as day-to-day. But on the flip side of that, it was an awesome opportunity for Justin and a challenge for our offensive unit to deal with a little adversity at the outset. We all like to start with great fluidity and clean, but, man, football isn't always like that. And so, really, I looked at it as a good thing for a collective, a challenge for the offensive unit, a challenge and an opportunity to get to know Russ a little bit, man, create a little short-term misery for him, opportunities for others. And so that's the story there.
All right, so look, I'm gonna kick this one off, and so the question is, will Justin Fields be the Week 1 starter? And to be honest with you, I don't know, but I'm gonna go with no. But I would not be surprised if he's a Week 1 starter. I don't know if y'all remember. Let's talk about Russell Wilson, right? Rookie year, Seahawks gets drafted. I think in the fifth or fourth, on the third round, probably. He was in the first or second round pick, right? And the Seahawks had just signed Matt Flynn, who played well when Aaron Rodgers got hurt against the Green Bay Packers. With the Green Bay Packers, he played well every one game. He threw 5 touchdowns, right? So Matt Flynn got signed by the Seahawks, got paid $15 million a year, which was a big contract back then. And then Russell Wilson ended up being the starter, coming into that, he ended up beating Matt Flynn training camp and getting the starting job. So Russell Wilson firsthand understands taking advantage of your opportunity, right? And in the NFL, man, you gotta think about it. Russell Wilson, yes, he has the name. It's the name. Russell Wilson's getting paid how much? What, $1 million a year? 1 million this year, something like that, or 2 million? He barely 2 million this year. So it's not like he's a high-paid quarterback like Matt Flynn was. And this is the beauty of Mike Tomlin having 2 starters on his roster. He can be conservative. He can say, you know what, Russ? Because Russ wanted to play. You know what, Russ? It's cool. Go ahead and sit out. We're going to roll with Justin Fields. And Justin Fields is trying to read us a moment. So if Justin Fields, it's up to Justin Fields, not Mike Tomlin. I feel like if Justin Fields played well with the first unit, Mike Tomlin will make that call to start Justin Fields. But then again, I mean, he did let Kenny Pickett start all those weeks without, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Throwing him an interception. So, but I'm going to say it's going to be Russell Wilson going into the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. I think it's gonna be Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson is he's actually making 1.21 million a year. What this year? So that's it. Not even 2 million. 1.21 million. Um, for me, I don't think Russ is gonna be out the entire training camp and preseason and all the way up to week 1. That's for me. I think that's what it would have to be in order for Justin Fields to be able to see the field in week 1. Russell Wilson will have to be hurt all the way up until week 1. Although I think Justin Fields is playing great, right, as far as what I see in training camp right now, he's doing well with the first unit. He since the offseason has started, pretty much he's been creating some rapport with George Pickens, who is their best wide receiver. So that means a lot right there. And we heard a lot of stuff about him possibly being a kick returner and stuff like that. We all knew that wasn't necessarily going to happen. It was funny to hear, funny to talk about, honestly. Yeah. But I mean, I don't see it. I don't see Fields taking that job in training camp or in preseason, honestly. I think it would have to be in a regular season game for him to be able to say he's our starter for this season. I don't think it's going to happen in training camp right now. Plus, Mike would pretty much be going back on his own word, and Mike Tomlin doesn't necessarily do that. If you really think about it, look how long he kept Matt Canada. He didn't go back on his word. He said he was going to keep him, and he kept him until he absolutely had to get rid of him. So Mike Tomlin is not the guy to go back on his word. He pretty much said that when Russell Wilson got here, he was the starter. He was going to be the starter for the season. This was going to be a season where Justin Fields is pretty much going to be the backup. Although I think that's a bad decision. I think that he should make them compete. But I'm not Mike Tomlin. So, yeah, I see Russell Wilson starting.
Can I ask you fellas a question?
Okay.
All right, real quick. Um, would you say that Mike Tomlin is a great coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people want to say that though.
Some,
Oh, Dave's one of those, right? Dave was one of them.
all right. Okay. Would you say that
I'll
Mike
say
Tomlin
he
is a
used
good coach?
he's a good coach. Yes, I'll say that he
All
used
right.
to be a great
Let's
coach.
let's say he's a good coach, right? Um, would you say that Mike Tomlin is the type of coach that sees he's a foreseeing coach? He's one that looks down the line.
Yeah, I would say that.
I don't know because I don't know. If we talking about Mike Tomlin before Ben Roethlisberger retired, then
Can we just answer the question?
Right now, no. I'm gonna say
All right.
no.
All right. Which quarterback needs more reps?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
All right. So now my answer. All right. What you always want to have is your backup quarterback prepared to come in when the starter isn't ready. When the starter isn't good or something's going on with the starter actually does get hurt because Russ ain't hurt. Russ was running around doing some other stuff out there. All right. He ain't hurt. Okay. Like his calf got tight. Now, what I would do is go over there and talk to that strength and training team, right? And talk to them for a while. Be like, hey, look, when they come in, this is just a preliminary thing. Let them run around, hop side to side. Are they good? Let them go out there, right? That extra stuff they did, I don't know what they were doing in there, and Russ kind of gave us a hint that it was a lot more than they normally go through. But Russ is a guy that's been starting in this league for a long time and has been consistently successful in this league. Justin Fields hasn't. Justin Fields needs the reps. He needs to get out there with players and get into a real offense where he's not looked at as the guy that has to make all the plays. Because on that Bears team, he was looking at the guy that had to make all the plays. He doesn't have to do those on the team. He has weapons around him that will allow him not to have to do that. All right, Russ is gonna be fine. He'll be good. Right, he's not up there with Sean Payton anymore. He's not up there treated like a junior quarterback anymore. He'll be treated like the star he is, and he's just sitting back and allowing this rookie, because that's what Justin Fields really is. He's still a rookie in this league. And the only reason why I say that, I'm not saying that he is. He knows how to play in the league. But what I mean by that is he doesn't know how to be a starting quarterback yet. He knows how to be an athlete that plays the quarterback position, but he doesn't know how to do it. But he does know how to throw the ball. He has a great arm. But you've never seen it because no one has developed him into being that type of guy. Okay.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? No one's developed him to being that guy yet, right? So I think he needs more reps. I think Mike Tomlin's playing that game. That's why he said what he said. Oh, I just decided to sit him down and let him sit around and do this right there, But, you can call him day to day. Yeah, we know he's day to day. He's day to day to letting this guy become better, because if he goes down, if Russ goes down, what do you have after that? You have Justin Fields. And you got to get Justin Fields ready to play and in the mindset of being a quarterback and not an athlete. He's been an athlete in this league and not a quarterback. Because what's the one thing we've always said about Justin Fields? Man, that was a great run, man. He had 1,000 yards this season, almost 1,000 yards this season running. But would you say that about him throwing the ball? Man, that was a great pass he threw over there. You can say that very little, but you always talk about him running. He has a great arm. I remember him at Georgia. I remember him. I was upset when he left Georgia to go to Ohio State. Right, because I knew the potential he had when I saw him there.
The Ohio State.
But go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Two things. I was now. So he's gonna get his reps with the first, second, third unit, no matter what unit he is. He gonna get his reps as a quarterback. But to build a rapport with the first unit, I will understand that. All right. And I will say this too, to like kind of piggyback on what Dave said about Mike Tomlin saying that Russ is the starter. For the coaches, the save face as a coach is easier to start Russ and when the season start and go to Fields versus start Fields and go to Russ. If that makes sense, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
because Fields will never get back in there again, and it's going to hurt.
yeah,
It's going to
because Fields
hurt him more. Yeah.
exactly. So like worst case scenario, Fields came into the season, and also when he signed Russ, they had no intention of getting Fields. So who knows how those conversations went?
I
So
don't
Russell,
know. I don't
no, I
know.
don't think so. Because they signed Russ, and then the Bears came out after that and said we are drafting Caleb, and then that's when Justin Fields stopped being up for grabs. That
Yeah, but everyone knew they were going. They were playing
we
that
weren't sure
game.
because it was news coming out. Remember that Caleb wasn't trying to be with the Bears. You know what I mean? Like Camp came out and said that. Like people actually believe that.
This ain't 1983, okay? You can't pull a John Elway, okay? He wasn't going to pull a John Elway.
No,
You know
if he didn't want to be there, the Bears were going to draft him.
They would have drafted him.
You think so? You
Yeah.
think so? If Caleb really didn't want to be with Chicago, come on now. So my whole thing is this though. I think that because of that, I'm pretty sure he told Russ they had a plan for Russ and all that stuff, and this also to make Russ feel better. Even though he's not on a high contract, I get he's on a 1-year deal, prove it deal. So I think it's better for Mike Tomlin to go with Russ and to figure out what Kevo said in the comments. He said about the players. The players, I agree with him. I think the players will lean more towards Justin Fields. I agree with that 100%. And I don't know because Russell Wilson. I don't know. I just think that Justin's the future. We know that. So I think that he's going to go with Russell Wilson first, just because it's Russell Wilson. And then if Russell Wilson, falls in his face multiple times, I think it's going to have to happen over and over again. Probably like week 6, he might go into Justin Fields, or Russ might get hurt. God forbid, when hurt during the season, Justin Fields comes in regular, like you said, Tony, in the regular season, and then if he plays well, he just keeps the job.
So he Russell. Excuse me, Dan. I don't want to cut it out. This is the last thing I want to say about this. But Russell is pretty much the equivalent of John the Baptist to Jesus. He's there just to prepare the way for Fields. That's what his job is. No, I'm serious. That's why
I got good knowledge. I got you.
Right? He's just that's basically what it is. And forgive me, Lord, if I
better be perfect when he comes.
But I'm sorry. Oh God. Oh man. All right. Anyway, no, but that's all he's there for, man. He's really there to prepare the way for him. And I think Russ knows that's what his job is right now. Unless he has just the most phenomenal year. Like Russ has to throw for darn near 5,000 yards, but like 35, 40 touchdowns. And the Steelers have to go 14-3.
That'd be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm to keep this job next year. That's what has to happen. He has to have he got to have a crazy year. And if he has
he's got to win. I feel like
that's the thing. For me, it ain't even about the stats. He got to lead them to. Russell Wilson. What he has to do to keep this job is get them to 10+ wins this season. That's what he needs to do.
That's a gimme for the Steelers.
That's not a gimme. That's not a gimme. That is not a gimme, Tony. Tony, the last few seasons, how many times have they won 10+ games? Please tell me this.
They didn't have to win 10 games, but how many times they go
I'm
to the
saying
playoffs?
they need to win 10+ games in order for Russ Wilson to keep his job. That's what I'm saying.
To the playoffs. How many times they go to the playoffs with a mediocre player? With mediocre quarterbacks, they still have made it to the playoffs.
If Russ only gets there with a mediocre record, just like those mediocre quarterbacks, he's gone next year. That's what I'm telling you.
He's gone next year.
Yeah,
I think he's gone.
But I give you 10, Dave. Like he earned his way out.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he got to win. If he wins 10, 11 games this season, then they're not going to move.
He won't be a star next year.
No.
Russell right now is playing to be He's playing to get a position on another team right now. He's basically
Starting
auditioning
job.
for another team.
And
That's
this
what
could
he's
be a
that's what he's
year.
doing. That's basically what he's doing. That's what the 1 year is for. You know, how is he and not just as a starter, even as a backup on the team. Okay, if you play this way right here and the kid takes your job right there, how do you play as a backup to him? Do you go in there and you play the snotty role behind him, or do you go in there and you teach the kid how to play and do all the things like that? That people are looking like that for veterans to do that for on teams. Look at so many guys that did that. So we'll see.
Hey, look, Tony, to piggyback on your prepared away analogy,
Mhm.
I can hear Russell Wilson now. I throw passes for you in the regular season. The one comes after me can throw passes for you in the playoffs. He said his cleats. I'm not worth untying his cleats.
Yeah.
And
but
Russ didn't have a
that's
bad year
funny.
last year. He threw
didn't.
26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He had a 98 quarterback rating. He threw for
Wait,
3,000
wait,
yards. That's not bad.
And
Yeah,
that was
and they
and
won like
that
a
was
5-6 game win streak, and they was beating the Chiefs. They beat the
Uh-huh.
Bills.
Mhm.
and
And that defense went crazy.
and that was with receivers that actually thought that catching the ball wasn't their job. You know, so yeah.
That's that week 1. I don't know, Kevo. Week 1.
I don't think week 1.
I was wishing for week 5. You know what I mean? That's a
Yeah.
possibility.
Week 5, yes. Week 1, no.
I
It's
can
not
see
happening.
that, but
It's
week
not
1.
happening.
Russell
Mike Tomlin will have to do something he's never done before, other than when he got Big Ben. Because if you look at it,
Big Ben Big Ben wasn't week 1 starter. Tony Michaels got hurt.
What I'm saying is that would be something that's like crazy.
You're right,
but what I'm saying is he don't normally start rookies the first week. I mean, other than Kenny Pickett, he had no choice. But
no, Kenny Pickett wasn't a starter.
He wasn't a starter.
Even that too. He had Mitchell Trubisky and other. What was the other quarterback?
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
And that's why I disagree when y'all say that he sees the future and makes decisions. No, he don't, because he kept those bad quarterbacks in that entire time. So he don't see that. He don't see the future all the time.
Yeah,
but just a president a rookie though at the end of the day. So
but what I'm saying is the other guys, Mason Rudolph and the other guys weren't rookies either. And he was still making sure that they was seeing the field more than Kenny Pickett.
Hold on, taking on Tomlin. Who was the one that said something about Tomlin last season? Everybody pushed back on it in the chat.
About
when I was like, yo, like Mike Tomlin needed to win. I said he need to start winning. And they were like, no, man,
I agree with you.
No, I
was
agree.
like, bro, we are talking about he just getting over the hump every year. Like,
but that was the same.
Gonna set up for that?
Hey, but remember, that's what I said about Bill Belichick. I said, look, these last 2 seasons, he barely got to the playoffs. Then he missed it.
Yeah, but there's a difference between Tomlin and Belichick. There's a difference between Tomlin and Belichick. Okay, and let's be real. Belichick was making all these crazy decisions about this.
Yeah, GM. That's why he was out.
He was the GM making all them crazy decisions.
But Mike Tomlin decision making too.
He makes some decisions not like that. He makes some decisions.
Bad decisions. He can't back.
Those are head coaching decisions where Belichick making some dumb GM decisions. Like bro,
that's what I'm saying. So it's totally different. Tomlin, he still hasn't had a losing season.
That's what they talking about.
He hasn't had a losing season.
He hasn't had a losing season as far as the regular. He hasn't had a losing as far as the regular season. Is that it? Is that all we? That's that.
I'm not trying to kill Tomlin. Like, you know, me and Dave got different. I got a way I feel about Tomlin, but Dave a little different from me. All right, so I'm gonna leave Dave with that. But like, I'm cool with Dave feeling that way. He has a reason for that way. But Mike Tomlin, you are with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, come on now, Boston Celtics. They haven't won titles in years, but they still got the high standard because the Lakers are right there. They're trying to be at the Lakers. That's the Steelers and the 49ers, the Cowboys, the daggone Patriots. They're trying to keep up. So are we really going to settle for 8-8 every year, 9-8 every year? That's me. I'm like, bro, I get it. He gets them there, but we get blown out on the first round every year.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough.
We living for to make the playoffs now as the Steelers.
So Joe, what I hear you saying is that Mike Tomlin is Moses, and he won't get him into the promised line. They need a Joshua.
Okay, Tony. Man, we need Joshua, man.
They need a Joshua. No. I don't disagree with you guys, right? I think that he's had a. I think that out of respect, I think that out of respect for what he's done there, kind of like the same thing the Patriots are doing with Belichick, out of respect for his winning way, they haven't made that decision. But he bet not have a bad year this year. If he have a bad year this year, he doesn't gonna need to make a decision. They'll make the decision for him.
Nah, the Steelers have what, 3 head coaches and they whole franchise history, something like that.
Four? Is it 4?
Four, something like that. So
Three,
I don't
four?
even know who will be next
Three,
in line. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, they don't have no other.
That's
But
gonna be tough.
you know, this really started for them when what's that linebacker that career ended with the injury? What's his name?
For who?
For the Steelers, the one with the ball head.
James,
I can't think of his name.
With an injury?
No, it wasn't Harrison. It was another guy. Another young. It was a young linebacker, and he got a horrible injury and never came back. But ever since that doggone injury, man, that Steelers defense has not been the same. Ever since
I can't think of his name either, Dave.
I can't think of his name. I'm trying to think of his name, but I can't think of his name. But ever since that and see, the defense is that, you remember they've had good offenses, but it's really the Steelers defense that has been the marker of that team.
Yeah, man, TJ Watt. Talking about that's
has always been a marker of that team, right? So, but
Cole Holcomb?
No, Cole Holcomb.
I can't think of the guy's name, man.
Ryan Shazier. Ryan Shazier.
Ryan Shazier. That's his name. Ryan Shazier. After he
had a spinal injury.
Yeah, that spinal injury. And after he had that injury, man, that defense has not looked the same. You know what I'm saying? And they've gone and drafted some people that have never panned out.
Oh yeah,
has not panned out. So that's what I'm saying. When about them, like, they've made bad decisions defensively. Now, I still think not paying.
They did good defensively. They drafted good defensively and everything.
But they haven't panned out. They haven't panned out.
I don't think the defense is the problem.
You gotta think about it. DJ Watt been hurt too. Like,
no. The Watt's injuries have hurt them a lot because he is the catalyst. He's the engine. He's the engine behind that defense, right? He's really much the engine behind that defense, and he causes a lot of trouble.
Bro.
But once he gets tired, they did, dog. They did. And but remember when they had who was the 2 linebackers they had? Man. When they lost to the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
You going way back?
That linebacking core. What I mean by that is, what I'm saying is that linebacking core was so good that if one got tired, the other one could make up for it. Who's the other one's going to make up for it when TJ Watt gets tired?
He don't get tired.
He does.
Man, TJ Watt is dead, man. That dude, man.
He does. And that's why
he a machine. I don't know what you're saying.
He gets tired at times, and that's why they pull him out sometimes, because to try to conserve him for the fourth quarter now, because he does.
He can't play every single down. That's
not what I'm saying. They do it more often now because of the injuries first. Also, first is the injuries, then also he gets tired. Right? He also gets tired. What I mean by that is that they don't have that other guy on that.
They did just sign Cubs from the Ravens, right?
Patrick Queen.
Yeah, but let's see how they pan out. But I'm talking about prior defenses. The last couple years, they haven't had that guy that can come in there and be. There's no Palomalo there. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about like another position? They got Fitzpatrick.
There's no other guy there. No, I'm not saying. I'm not Joe. He's playing.
He wasn't a problem for us.
What I mean is that he wasn't. But what I mean is that there's that guy that can cause the havoc that he causes. You know what I'm saying? They always had another guy that can do that. Even when Harrison was there was always another guy.
On the deuce line, Hayward.
Yeah, he does his thing sometimes, but he's getting old.
Yeah, that's true. But and then they got Joey Porter Jr. on the cornerback side. They also got Dante. I like Dante Jackson. Man, they gonna
I think Porter Jr. will develop. He'll develop well. I think he'll develop well. He's developing pretty well.
Their defense is not an issue for me. It's more so the offense.
It is. The offense. No. The offense is. Yeah, an offensive line.